We are scouts. Always curious, always testing, always on the lookout for strengths that form a collective power on the field, in the code. Creativity for unseen plays, flexibility for smooth handoffs, persistence for pushing limits, vision for anticipation. Together, the team rises as one. Lights down, minds on. Let the team take action.
All right, gentlemen, let's cut to it. Our technology team has been slipping. The competition is fast, flashy. I need a big star, that one big-name solution, the kind of player that fills the stadium. Find me that, and we are back on top.
I don't know, single star, that's not really how championships are won. You don't build a legacy on one headlining player. You build it on balance, on a team where every position is covered and every role matters.
Exactly. Think about it. What if your star crashes or can't adapt to the game when the game changes? You need flexibility, you need depth. That's what SAP BTP gives us, a whole roster of players, each one bringing a critical skill set to the field.
A roster? Sounds expensive. Sounds complicated. I want something simple. One tool, one answer.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be complicated. It's all connected. With SAP BTP, you get safe extensions for your core SAP solutions, clean, upgrade stable, and cloud ready, and no more breaking the foundation just to add a new play.
And then there's integration. We're talking smooth handoffs between SAP and non-SAP systems. No hospital passes. Everything works as a unit.
Yeah, plus automation and process improvements. Imagine players that not only run the plays that you call, but also anticipate what's next.
And AI, this year, it's not just hype. With Joule, with SAP AI Core, with agents, you're getting players who see the entire field, analyze it in real time, and call the winning shots.
So you're saying, I don't need a single superstar. I need a team that covers every angle.
Exactly. Think of it this way. Data is your playbook, AI is your game intelligence, extensions as your specialized positions, and integration is the teamwork that brings it all together. And together, they're unstoppable.
And that's why we're not here to sign just one. We're here to scout globally. Berlin, Sydney, Bangalore, Louisville. That's where the next generation of BTP talent is meeting in November. Developers who can extend, integrate, automate, and innovate on SAP like nobody else.
All right. You've convinced me that I'm willing to let you take this trip. Find me this team of champions. Casimir and I'll be back.
Don't worry. We're building the kind of lineup that doesn't just play the game, it changes it.
And when we're done, you'll see SAP BTP. It isn't about one star, it's about winning the season, every season. All right, let's get out of here.
All right, where do you think we should start? How about cloud application programming model? Vitaly? What can we see there, and who can present it?
It's first step. Second step.
I could give Tom a simple answer, but you know me. This is going to be hold my coffee, I'll give you something to impress. So I'm using SAP HANA Cloud instance, and in this instance, I activated Triple Store, something that allows you to use Knowledge Graph Engine in SAP HANA. Obviously, I know who is going to present all the demos today, so I created an ontology. And this ontology shows you that there are SAP developer advocates who are presenting different demos using different capabilities of different products. All of this is available as triples already All of that is available already as triples in the knowledge graph loaded into HANA. And to see it, I will show you this in a minute, no worries. But at least you saw some SPARQL code, right? And all of you love SPARQL code. Who doesn't love SPARQL code? OK, no one raised their hand. But to make it a little bit easier, we've built this Python package for HANA and LangChain integration that would allow you to run Q&A integration. So I'm connecting to this very instance that I just showed you. And then I'm instantiating the knowledge graph, the one that I just wanted to show you some data from. But you can see at least schema for that knowledge graph. And then I'm using one of the many LLM models that are available in SAP AI Core Gen AI Hub. And read this part of the code once you are watching the recording, OK? And then I'm asking this question in just natural language. So what demo will show cloud application programming model, and who can show this? As you can see, LLM is getting this question, generating the SPARQL query. I know all of you would love to write this by yourself, but let LLM do this. And then it returns the answers. So the demo titled SAP CAP MCP and AI agents will show cloud application programming model. And two people who would show this are Nico and DJ. And because this is RDF and this is resource description, I can link this to resources on the web. So Tom, that's your answer.
All right, so now that we know who our first tryout will be, DJ and Nico.
All right, DJ.
Hi.
So yesterday in the keynote, I think we saw that finally SAP development is coming together all in one place.
What, to that mythical one IDE to rule them all?
Yeah, pretty much. We now got SAP Build, ABAP Cloud, you heard that, and CAP all coming together in Visual Studio Code.
ABAP. I mean, that is sacred territory, right? I can jump, though, from TM38 straight to VS Code. Any more fellow dinosaurs there? Get that reference, TM38? Anybody? Put your hands up. Yes, that over there. Fantastic.
We now have the entire stack from UI5, CAP, Fiori, ABAP, HANA, all in one, by the way, open source-based IDE.
Amazing, amazing. But also because the SAP Business Application Studio is also based on the same framework, the open source framework Code OSS, same experience there.
Exactly. And it's not about just typing the code any longer. It's about intelligent development.
Artificially intelligent?
Right. If we combine SAP development with the open ecosystem of AI tooling out there, things get really interesting. And I would like to show you Klein, which is one of the available AI assistants in VS Code.
I do like the term assistant. It reminds me of a buddy working with you rather than this crazy typehead thing that just gets in my way.
Right. It's more like a co-developer that can design, install, test, and most importantly, fix things for you.
Sounds amazing. But where's the SAP connection?
I know you would ask. So this instance of Klein is powered by SAP AI Core, which is SAP Secure AI Engine. As you can see, the connection details here. And that means all your data, prompts, and AI credits stay within the SAP BTP trust boundary. So it's compliant, governed, and enterprise grade.
Sounds like AI with corporate guardrails, more or less, right? Plus, looking at the AI Core, we've also got on the other end, lending domain-specific knowledge, these MCP servers. As we all, I hope, learned in Devtoberfest, Model Context Protocol, we have MCP servers, right?
Exactly. These MCP servers have access to data and functions in an SAP context. So we have the UI5 and CAP MCP server, for example, installed here.
There's also a Fiori one, but let's have a look maybe at the CAP one first.
Yep. So I'll just fire a prompt.
Cool.
Generate an SAP CAP app with a product service.
No typos.
That was the most exciting part. And we launched this in plan mode. So we will see what it is about to do before it executes the steps.
So I see straight away that one of the tools within the MCP server for CAP is search docs, and it's using that first of all, right?
Exactly. It's going to the documentation to read capire before it actually does anything, which I really appreciate.
Capire. Do you get that? Excellent.
Right. So we can see that it is searching the docs. It's doing a bunch of things.
Yep.
And I'll now switch to act mode, and it should start doing something to the file system.
So we can also see that it's telling us what it's going to do in detail, so we can actually review that if we want to before we go ahead.
Exactly. And since we're short on time, I'll just jump into the future right here.
We're in the future right now. Come on.
And this is the final product. So this is what might have been generated by the client MCP.
But maybe here we can add some UI5?
Sure we can. So let's just say generate a UI5 app for the products service.
Nice, nice. And this is going to be a freestyle UI5 app, hopefully with a nice view.
Hopefully,
Let's see what it does.
And it should go to the CAP MCP first to search the model, so it makes sense to get a good understanding of the data model before you build a UI on top.
And when we say good understanding, we're not sort of, airy-fairy good understanding. This is basically grabbing a seasoned representation of the actual data model, right?
It does, exactly. And here in a subsequent step, it goes to the UI5 MCP to get information on how to create a UI5 application. So it's actually getting data from that MCP on how to execute these steps. And then it does it.
And also what we've got in the background are some rules, some general rules for client. But we've also got, I think, within the UI5 MCP server configuration, we've got some rules to tell the agent to use specific tools to start with, right?
Right. It's all about guiding the agent so it does what we want them to do.
Cool. OK, so where are we right now?
All right. So again, I jumped into the future once more, and this is what a view looks like.
I'm not sure about the color coding, but I do like the XML. I'm an XML view person. I love that. It's quite nice. 4 spaces for indentation, I'm not so sure. But in terms of what it's generated, I'm happy.
Yeah, and I'm happy too, because we now have really the whole package. We got SAP Development AI Assistant end-to-end, both in VS Code and the Business Application Studio. It's all powered by SAP AI Core and, probably most importantly, guided by these MCP, SAP-delivered MCP servers.
Elevating literally, we're standing on a box here, elevating us developers to be smarter, faster, and more creative.
Right.
So that's it. So back over to you two.
Great use of AI.
Yeah. And a free agent that we could sign right now. Mm-hmm. But for our next Pro Day workout, let's see Jai.
OK, so now I'm going to show you how to event enable our SAP Cloud application. And to do that, I'm going to use a new player onboarding scenario. So we need to onboard all our new players into our favorite HCM system, which is SAP SuccessFactors. Now, it would be really cool that as soon as I onboard a new member, I could automatically trigger some processes which could inform my other cloud applications that a new employee has been hired. So let me show you how we can easily do that. So I am in my SAP BTP Global Account system landscape, and I already have SAP SuccessFactors tenant. I have SAP Build Process Automation. I have a SAP BTP application. In this case, it is a custom application, a custom CAP application, which can receive SAP SuccessFactors events. And I also have SAP Cloud Application Event Hub, which is an event broker within BTP that we can leverage to seamlessly configure the flow of events. Now to do so, I'll start with creating a formation of type eventing between SAP Cloud systems. And all I need to do is that I need to add a new system which I want to receive events in. So let's go ahead and do that. So now while it's processing, what's happening under the hood is that all the systems in my formation are automatically establishing connection with SAP Cloud Application Event Hub so that they're ready to exchange the events. Now, if I need to receive an event from a different system, then I need to define an integration dependency. So I'm in my CAP service instance, and let's go ahead and define one new. So let's call it as SAP SuccessFactors new hire. And my source system namespace is SAP.sf. And the events that I'm interested in receiving are the following. So with this, I have created my integration dependency. And all I need to do next is to enable the subscription. To do that, let me show you how. So we need to go to SAP Cloud Application Event Hub UI, and there I can see all my subscription. And just by enabling this toggle button, my subscription is enabled. And just like that, my broker knows that if it receives any of the events from the SuccessFactors, which we just described, it will immediately send them to our SAP BTP CAP application. So now let's go to SAP SuccessFactors, and then we try to add a new hire to onboarding. So let's provide some details. The first name, Oscar, and the last name as Benji. And let's provide an email address. So oscar.benji@sap.com. We need to give a hiring date, so it should be as soon as possible, so today's date. And I want to hire this player from the US region. I already know that the hiring manager is Bluebeard. Yeah. And I give the reason as new hire. And let me initiate onboarding. So in a few seconds, all my systems where I have enabled subscriptions will be receiving this event. So let's, if you remember, we enabled a CAP application to receive this event. So let's check whether we already received this event. And yes, we have successfully received the event from SAP SuccessFactors in our CAP application. Let's also go to SAP Build Process Automation, which was also one of the subscriptions, and let's check. And yes, we have received the event here as well. So just like that, we have easily configured the exchange of events between the SAP Cloud applications. In this case, SAP SuccessFactors, SAP Cloud Application Event Hub, and a custom BTP application. Do remember that we can easily forward these events also to other SAP BTP services like SAP Integration Suite and Advanced Event Mesh, thereby making it available in our larger event-driven architecture and landscape. Over to you, Tom.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, that eventing stuff, it's so powerful and easy to use.
I know, right? Next up on my list is Nora.
Thank you. In the keynote yesterday, we heard how SAP is opening up their developer ecosystem and how we are already compatible with a lot of different AI agent frameworks out there. And this flexibility is really one of the things I love most about our AI strategy. Now, I will show you how you can build an AI agent using LangGraph and Gen AI Hub. So my colleague Riley came up to me the other day, and he told me about all the things that he has to do to quality test a tutorial on developers.sap.com. And he asked me if we couldn't automate that using a browser, using an AI agent, right? And I was like, yeah, of course we can. Love to do that. Yeah, so what I did was I immediately started thinking about which tools my AI agent would need to actually be able to test a tutorial. So first of all, it definitely needs browser access, right? Because I wanted to be able to open BTP and all those services. Then I'm going to use the Playwright MCP server for that to automate the browser automation. Then I also needed to have access to a terminal so that it can create files, write code, and actually also run code. And I wanted to have access to the grounding service of AI Foundation in case it needs to look up any SAP-specific information. Okay, so this is the tutorial that we will be testing here today. Actually, we won't be testing it. The agent is hopefully going to test it, right? And it's a tutorial about how to create an orchestration workflow in AI Launchpad. So it's supposed to look something like this in the end, right? And this is my code. So here you can see that I am using the SAP Cloud SDK for AI in the Python version to initialize my models, so the Gen AI SDK, and I'm using one of the over 30 models that we have available. Here I'm using Claude for Sonnet. And then here you can see that I'm using the prompt registry of GenAI Hub so that I can actually store my agent prompt there because these prompts can get rather large and I want to keep it separately from my code base. Okay, what else? Here we have the MCP server, the Playwright MCP server I use to automate browser access, and then we actually can already create our agent. So here you can see that I create the agent and I'm adding the LLM as the brain, right, and all the tools that it needs to actually test the tutorial for me. Okay, now we can actually already run our agent. I'm going to stream the response so that we can see what it's thinking. Okay, so this is the live stream I'm running this, so I hope it does what I want it to do, but it's an AI agent, you never know. Okay, so I'm not doing anything anymore, right? This is all the agent now. What it is supposed to do now, yeah, exactly, okay, it did it, that's good. So what happens now is that the agent sends all the information it has. So the agent prompt, all the tools it has available, and obviously the tutorial instructions in Markdown to the LLM. The LLM then reads this entire tutorial, creates like a step-by-step of what it wants to do and how it can get through this tutorial. And then, very important, it decides on which tool to use first. So in this case, it used the Navigate To tool to open AI Launchpad, which it did. Then the tool returns the current state. So for example, a screenshot of the web page, or it extracts the HTML code and sends that back to the agent. Now the agent takes all that information, and also, again, all the history of what the agent did until now, takes that, sends it back to the LLM. The LLM checks the state it's at, checks what it should do next in the tutorial, decides on which tool to use next, for example, a click tool or filling in the variables here, sends that back to the agent. The agent actually calls the tool, and, well, you get the point, right? It does that over and over and over again until it actually tested this entire tutorial for us. And then what it should do in the end is obviously give us feedback on this tutorial so that my colleague Riley doesn't have to test all these tutorials himself anymore, right? Okay, so you might have noticed something here. It's now creating all these little modules and does everything as described in the tutorial, but it skipped the first module, the grounding one. We'll see it in a bit when it goes to the next module, because that was actually not part of the tutorial, right? Because this is a rather new feature that was released after the tutorial was created. So the agent got a little bit confused and didn't really know what to do with it. So if it just skipped it. So if I would be the tutorial tester here, I would give that as feedback, right? That you should say what the tutorial user is doing with this module. So I hope it actually gives that as feedback. I obviously don't know because, well, you never know. So once this agent is done configuring all these steps, it should just close the browser window and give us feedback. How much time do I have? A minute. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it configures the last things, the translation part. Okay, and then it will just close it any second now and give me feedback. Okay, hold on. Tutorial structure clarity, it always says that. Okay, here it says, it's very dramatic about it, but it does have a point. The grounding module confusion. So it was a little bit confused by the grounding module, and it says the tutorial should mention whether to disable it or whatever to do with it. Anyway, it's really good feedback. That's exactly what I would have given as well. So Riley, I think good news for you. You can use this to at least pre-scan the tutorials from now on, so you don't have to do it yourself. Hi, Riley, by the way.
That's really cool. And now that I think about it, you know, AI agents taking over your machine is kind of like when you have a trusted quarterback and you let them call an audible on the field.
Exactly. And now for more AI-powered scouting with Daniel and Rekha.
We certainly know about SAP Joule, SAP's generative AI co-pilot. So let's see how to extend its capability using SAP custom skills and Joule AI agents using SAP Build Studio. Over to you, Daniel.
Thank you, Rekha. To create a Joule extension, we go into the build lobby like we would create an app or a process, and now we have the option to create a new Joule Studio project. I'll take an existing project and an existing skill, which is designed to bring back new hire processes, And in the General tab, we give it a name and a description. And now the description is vital because it determines when Joule will trigger this skill. There are also several settings, including one where it determines whether I return the message to the user or I let Joule create it itself using data that I return to it. I can also define parameters that are required by the skill, and Joule will prompt for them if the user doesn't provide them. And I also have output parameters. This is the data I provide back to Joule when I want Joule to create the messages. Now that I've configured the skill, all that's left to do is to figure out what is the skill going to do. So I can call an action to bring back data from the back end. I can send a message to the user. I can call another skill, or I can call a process or automation. Now, calling a process automation is quite powerful because it means that the entire extensive capability of process automation is already built into Joule Studio. Now, this this skill calls some process automation APIs and then provides a message back to the user binding the data from the action. Now, remember Ajay created a new hire and he sent an event from SuccessFactors to BTP to process automation? Well, we created a process that would be triggered by that event. And in fact, here you can see this was triggered at 9:16 just a few minutes ago. And you can see in the context we have the new hire that he had, Oscar Benji. And we also created a Joule skill that would return the process or information about the last process that was run. So you can see I already did a prompt for the last process, and you can see Oscar Benji, and you can see the manager information. And once I have that, I can now ask for the approval tasks for that process. And we'll give it a second. And we will get back the approval tasks for that process. And it will give us the due date and when it was started and the task owner. We can also now ask Joule to go all the way back to SuccessFactors, get us information about the task owner, and we can see, oh, our lovable Bluebeard, he's the manager, and we'll ask Joule to approve the task. Okay, and we'll wait for it to approve. And it says it's approved. I can go back to the monitoring tab, I can refresh, and just give it a second. And we can see that the task was approved, the process completed, all within Joule, using a low-code skill we created with Joule Studio. So that's pretty good. But what's even more impressive is what you can do with agents. So Rekha, can you show us?
Yeah, sure, Daniel. So I'm going to roll up my sleeves a little bit, and let's see how to create a custom AI agent within Joule Studio project. For that, click on Create, select Joule Agent. So I'll provide the name and description. It is an agent to help the direct manager with the new hire relocation benefits. So description. Go on Create. The agent builder opens up. We provide the expertise, that is what the agent is specialized in. Next, we provide the instructions, how the agent is going to achieve its goals and tasks. Additional context is the behavior and tone of the agent. Key components, LLMs and tools. LLM, Anthropic I'm going to choose. Base model acts as a starting point, and advanced model for deep and complex analyses. And under advanced configuration, select pre-processing if you want the prompt to be decomposed and planned before sending to LLM. Post-processing for response or answer refinement before showing it to the user. And add the calculator for the total of the relocation costs. And documents from the SAP AI Core document grounding, the relocation policies. Connect to the AI Core destination, and resource group ID from the AI Launchpad. So this is my resource group ID. And the document collection ID again from the data pipeline. And finally, the Joule scale. What Daniel has created, we can attach here so that it composes an email and sends to the new hire. So that's it. Save, release, and deploy. And I have a deployed version here. So Direct Manager has issued a prompt, Joule has got the results, and the calculator has done the total of the calculation, and Joule has composed an email and then sent to the new hire. So this is the email to the new hire, you can see. And then it has summarized what it has sent, and that's it. Cool.
Joule tooling for low code. What will they think of next?
Yeah, now you don't have to be a pro player with a stadium contract to step up and take a few swings.
All right.
So, who's next on the list?
Next, we have Shilpa and Sheena.
Hi, Sheena. Now that employees have been onboarded, they need some laptop and mobile phone to get started. Any easier way to procure these?
Sure, Shilpa. We have our in-house shopping cart app, which is now enhanced with product recommendations as well.
Oh, recommendations? That's something interesting. I want to know.
Yeah, I can show you. So this is our new equipment request form, which is used to search for devices like headsets, mobile phones, notebooks, and so on. Let me show you some examples. I'm selecting notebooks from the item category list, and you can see that the app already provided me 2 options in the item list.
Wow, this is so cool, and it's so relevant. How did you get these?
Yeah, so these product recommendations are coming from an ISLM machine learning scenario powered by Tabular AI. This scenario is trained on the equipment request database, and it can read input values and provide a list of values for the output fields.
Wait, now this is an ISLM app, and the other one is a Fiori app. So how are these connected together?
So for that, I have to take you back to ADT. So you have to invoke the scenario within your application, and for that, you have to adjust the behavior definition of your CDS view. So this can be done by using the keyword recommendation function, provide a function name executed on field, and then provide your input field. You have to provide this within the side effects keyword. You also have to provide the output field with the syntax field recommendations, and the corresponding method will have the logic to call the ISLM scenario created earlier. So within the ISLM scenario call, you will be passing a JSON payload consisting of the input values and a top-end query to search the top recommendations using the ISLM scenario. Once you receive the results, the only task remaining is to map it back to the output field, and there you have your results displayed.
Okay, since you have trained on the given data model, I think I can use this in many other use cases while creating a transaction, right?
Exactly, Shilpa. So users can actually create the transactions within no time. So furthermore, I would like to highlight how we can use ABAP AI SDK to leverage LLMs to create or search for some general information from the internet. Let's say product reviews in this case. So for that, I'll show you another example. So here, I'm selecting a product, let's say MacBook Pro from this list, and you can see that I already have a short product review in this field. Now to show you how this works, I have to take you back to ADT again. I have created a SAP Gen AI scenario in ADT, which consists of a model that uses GPT-4o Mini to search the internet for product reviews and provide me the results back to the calling program. Now, to invoke the scenario within your application, you have to use, again, the side effects keyword, and you have to provide the triggering and target fields. And you will have a corresponding method which will contain the logic to call the SAP Gen AI scenario. So here you will have a call to the model which will again contain the prompts that I would like to supply to the LLM to search for the product reviews from the internet. Now, what I would like to highlight here is that whatever I've done so far, creation of SAP Gen AI scenario, the implementation, everything I can do within ADT without switching any screens.
What I really liked is you have combined ISLM powered by Tabular AI and ABAP AI SDK, making it more effective.
Yeah.
And Sheena, in the list report, I saw some products with various status. So how are you tracking these?
So right now I just apply a filter. Is there a better option, Shilpa?
Yeah, as we're talking about ABAP Cloud, let me highlight the latest innovation in graph analytics, that is Review Booklet Generator.
Wait, what is a review booklet?
Okay, you can use Review Booklet apps to display, analyze, and validate data. Like in analytics, in most of the cases, you might want to use more than one query. And that is where Review Booklet is so helpful and so convenient to use. You can use multiple queries, and for each of the query you use, you will get a pre-configured display page. Like, let me show that how we can see it.
Yep.
On the same base data model, I have created an analytical cube. And here I have given the order quantity and the price. I have maintained the aggregation defaulted to sum, which makes it a measure. And I've just created two queries, one for the product list and the status, and also defining some rows and columns. All you need is a service, and the queries has been exposed in the service. The prerequisite to use a review booklet is the service should be bind to a information access, that is INA. Okay. Here I have given the binding type as INA. And now let's see what happens. So here I just right click and then you have generate ABAP repository objects. Now the wizard, we have a wizard which is going to make your life so simple. You will get the review booklet generator app as an option, and you can have, the wizard will create a review booklet configuration, app descriptor, IAM app, which is sufficient to create a Fiori application.
Wow. So does it mean it creates an actual review booklet app?
Yes, a review booklet app is created, but we are not yet done there.
Okay.
We need to further configure like a layout, what you need, what are the dimensions and measures, and for that, we need to open the review booklet in the review booklet designer, which is, again, I just navigated from ADT.
Oh, so this is integrated with ADT?
Yes, not just the integration, but the context of the queries that we had used in the INA service will also be passed to the review booklet designer.
Oh.
And let's see what is happening. Okay, it's taking a while, and it always happens in the live demo.
Yeah.
Okay, so the analytical queries are just loading up. And I was also highlighting you that for every query, you can see here, so these are the analytical queries, and I also highlighted about the business pages, right?
Yes.
For every analytical query, a business page will be generated by default with the basic configuration. So here you have two generated pages, one for the product list and the other one for the status. Okay, it's just taking some time to load the data, and yeah, this is a live demo. So these are the different layouts, and by default, it's a single pivot table. You can also use various other layouts. I think we're good here. Let's do a quick preview. And this is the same preview what you get it in the Fiori application that is available in the Fiori Launchpad.
Oh, nice.
Let's see how it is.
Oh, the preview looks amazing, Shilpa, with some nice slicing and dicing.
Yeah, right. So you can see like per category, per item, per status, what is my total price, what's the order quantity, and let's see how we are with the status.
Oh,
so you get a good pictorial representation of the status of your products.
Yeah, the pie chart looks great. So can I see my top suppliers?
Yeah, that's very easy, and it's so intuitive. You just click on this to change your layout. Now you want the top suppliers, right? I'll just add the supplier. So here you go, your top suppliers. I can also give this different sort order, and I think if you're fine with this, then you can just save the layout and save it as a new page, or you can override with the existing page. And this is all ready for the business users to use it as a review booklet application.
Wonderful. So with that, we know that modern ABAP brings together transactional power,
real-time analytics,
and artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Tom.
I'm so inspired by what I see. I want to be part of this team too. And I've got a special prospect to work with.
All right, it looks like we're not in the majors now. This is the youth league, so everybody beware. But word is there's an emerging new star that we need to check out.
That's right. And this player's got a mentor, a veteran coach with a legendary career. We're talking ABAP, one of the most experienced players in the game.
And this new talent that we're here to check out today, ABAP as a Visual Studio Code extension. So let's meet them both.
So let's start simple, okay? Here we can see my local package inside of VS Code with a live connection to our backend ABAP system. Navigation, smooth. I can move through our classes and CDS artifacts just as you would expect. Okay? Creating objects is easy from the command palette. I can come up here and say new ABAP object, choose class, I can give it my $temp package. I'll give it a name, ZCL agent C's, and a description, demo, hit enter a couple times, and hopefully we get, yep, here we go. And you can see that my object tree has been updated on the left. I can see my class here. I'll go ahead and open up the source file. Beautiful. And I will throw in some executable code here so we can run it. Right? And I need my interface definition. And let's go ahead and save this. And hopefully we can activate. Beautiful, activated. I can run it from here as well. So you can see the results in the console just like we see in ADT, right? Debugging, absolutely. Set a breakpoint right here and run it again. And then you can see that, that my breakpoint stops at the line 18. And we have everything here. We can see the variables, watch points, call stack, breakpoints, everything here. And I can go ahead and step over that first statement. And we can see that the agencies table now has data in it. But here's the real kicker. We don't have to stop with ABAP. Oh, no. Now that we're in VS Code, right, we have our CAP and Fiori application development living together in one IDE. Right? So if we come out here and look at our CAP application, we can open up our JS files as well as our Fiori annotations for our Fiori applications. Because, you know, having everything in one IDE, it's a SAP full stack developer's dream, right? This is cool, right? All right. And because ABAP is evolving as a language server, things get even more interesting. But I'm going to save that for next year's developer keynote, so stay tuned.
Yep, that's a youth player with some serious promise.
Clearly, they're still in development, needs more training, more polish, but the potential is incredible. And we know that the SAP coaching staff is putting in the work to get this one ready for the majors.
And the future's right there. ABAP as a language server that works in multiple IDEs, combined with agentic AI and a single IDE, unifying all SAP development types.
It's a field of dreams for developers. And after all, build it,
and they will come. All right, folks, it's time to see the entire team. Let's bring them back out, because every great lineup deserves is more from the crowd. Extensions, integration, automation and processes, AI and Joule for developers, data and MCP agents, knowledge graph and intelligent applications. Look at this. One by one, they're strong. Together, we're unbeatable. Open developer tooling, agnostic coding agents that work regardless of developer tools, Joule for developers decoupled from the back end so it's usable by all developers, clean core extensions, AI innovations built on SAP BTP. This is your championship roster.
I'll admit it. I wanted 1 star, and you gave me a team of stars.
But here's the truth. This team doesn't win on its own. It takes coaches, it takes vision, and it takes all of you, the SAP developers of the world.
You're the playmakers. You're the ones who use these tools to create real-world impact.
And you've got support all season long. TechEd is your training camp, but the game goes on. Learning.sap.com, hands-on code jams, Devtoberfest, the SAP community, and the SAP developers YouTube channels. They're there for you to support you all year round.
The team is ready. Now it's your move.
So step up, use the playbook we've given you, and build the future.